Hello and welcome to a new tutorial. In this tutorial I will be using a microphone since I thought I could explain things better to you. In this tutorial I will explain how to set up an Icecast server to create a web radio so you can let your public listen to some music. So first of all we need to create a new VPS to run the Icecast server on. In this tutorial I will be using the DigitalOcean droplets. It's really cheap and it's a really good droplet. It's fast, it's with SSD, so I suggest you also use DigitalOcean. I will put in a link in the description where you can get a free $10 if you click on a link to DigitalOcean when you create a new account, so you can run a $5 a month VPS for 2 months with that link. Alright, so first of all, let's create a new droplet. I will call this droplet Icecast YouTube. I'll just be $5 and the region will be Amsterdam since that's the closest to my position. You should choose anything that refers to your position. Now let's use in this tutorial 14.10. It's a 64-bit. You need to have a 64-bit to run the Icecast server, and that's it. I really recommend that you use an SSH key because it makes the whole more secure. You can find out on DigitalOcean how to create an SSH key, how to use them, and all of that stuff. But in this tutorial, to make it a bit faster, I will just create the droplet without a SSH key. So let's create the droplet and wait a few seconds. Alright, so we got ourselves a new droplet. Now we can log into this droplet with this IP, and as you can see, DigitalOcean just sent me the passwords to log into the new droplet. Alright, so in this tutorial I will be using WinSCP to log into the actual site. Oh damn. Alright, so we got ourselves a new droplet which we will use for the Icecast server. In this tutorial I will be using WinSCP to log into this droplet, and then I will SSH into it with Putty. You can also just use Putty, but if you want to make it easy, you can check the files like with an FTP client, like WinSCP. And then you need to select the sftp protocol. We will select the new IP. So let me show you. Yes, alright. So sftp, the new hostname, the port, the username will be root, and the password would be the password DigitalOcean just sent me. This will be in your email. Alright, I'm gonna save this. Save password. I'm gonna save it as Icecast YouTube. Alright, now let's log into this new droplet. You will probably get a warning. Just click yes. Now it should authenticate. Server connection. Oh yeah, because we didn't create an SSH key, you need to change the password first of all, and we can't do that with the WinSCP. So we first need to log in with Putty. Let me find Putty. Alright. Now this would be the same IP. Click yes. log in as root, the password again, copy it, paste it. Alright, so we are in our droplets. Now we need to create a new password. Alright, and we are in. Alright, so now we change the password of this root user. We should also change the password in WinSCP. Right here, I will edit it, I will save with the new password. Alright, and I can log into it now. There we are. So now we are in the root server with WinSCP and Putty. So basically with WinSCP you can check all the files like an FTP client like FileZilla, and you can edit them if you got permissions to do so. With Putty you can run commands like screen or sudo or download any new software. Alright, so now we need to install the Icecast server. Before we do that, we need to have prerequisites. Yeah, we need to have some stuff. We need to have, let's see, here it is. We need to have a droplet. Alright, we got a droplet. Now we need to have these programs, these packages, before we can run the Icecast server. To do so, we first update the server. That's all you need to do. Just sudo apt-get update. You don't need to use sudo because we are already root. And now let's upgrade the server. This is just basic information. Just hit Y, click enter, and let it just run. That's all we need to do now. Alright, so now that's done, we need to build the essential package. All the software in there we need before we can install any other packages. So just use this apt-get install build essential. When you see, it will say what it will install, suggested packages, and the new packages which will be installed. Just click Y and hit enter again. Now it should install the packages we need before we can install the Icecast server. Alright, so now that's done. We are almost ready to install the Icecast server. Before we are going to install the Icecast server, we need to install some packages which the Icecast server will use. In this case that will be libforbis and libogg. Alright, so first of all we need to go into the temporary directory. Just use this command like cd/tmp. Now we are in the temp directory, so if you can see in WinSCP, we are currently right there. Alright, so let's just go in there and let's download the libforbis package. We can do that by this command. I will give you a link in the description, or you can just search it online. Just do wget wget then the link. This should download the package we need. As you can see, we refresh this directory, you can see we got a new package in there. But we need to extract this tarball to build the package. To extract this tarball, we need to do tar. Just use this command, and then the package we need to extract. Don't worry, I will put a link in the description where you can check all the commands and stuff I do, so you can easily create this, build these packages. Now we need to get into that new directory, so go to cd libhook and let's build this package. We can easily build this package by using configure, and then we also need to make it and install it. To be sure, you can use sudo make install and just hit enter. This will take a while. Alright, so this package didn't take a while. The next one, however, will take a while. So we need to go back into the other temp directory, and we need to download the other package we need, and it will be libforbis. I will give you a link in the description as before. It will download it again, and as you can see, if we refresh it, this package is downloaded. Now with the same commands, we need to extract this package again. Libforbis, hit enter. Alright, so we got the extracted directory. We need to get into there again. And now we need to do the same command to build the application. So configure, make, and sudo make install. Alright, so both the packages are installed on our server now. This is all we need to do. Let's just clean up the temporary directory with the following command. I will also give you the command links and all this stuff. And libforbis. Alright, so as you can see, if we refresh it or we do lsla, you can see the temporary directory is empty. We don't need them anymore because we already installed these packages. Alright, so now we need to install the Icecast server on our Ubuntu server. First of all, we need to create a new user since we don't want Icecast to run on our root user, just because of security reasons. We can create a new user with the following command: add user Icecast. Alright, so let's just name the user Icecast, give it a password. Alright, the full name, blah 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 blah, yes. Alright, this will create a new user and give the user its own directory in the home folder. As you can see, Icecast, and there we will install Icecast. After you created the user with your own passwords, we need to log in to this new user. So let's log in to this Icecast user. Alright, let's go to the home folder. We can just go to the home folder with cd. And now we need to download the Icecast tarball in there. So we will install the Icecast right in here. And currently we are in there. To do so, we can use the wget again, and then the link of the latest Icecast server. I will give you a link. and it should be downloaded right now, as you can see. Alright, so now let's extract this package again with the same extract command, and you will see that the Icecast server files are right in there. Let's just rename this Icecast folder to like Icecast server. So let's cast server. This command will move the Icecast folder into a new folder, but this is just renaming it. So as you can see, if we refresh it, or if we do LSA, you can see that we got ourselves the Icecast server. Now we don't need the Icecast tarball anymore, so we will just remove that. Alright, so that's alright. So now we got ourselves all the Icecast files we need. We need to install the Icecast server, and we can easily use install this Icecast server with the command we have been using all the time, and that would be configure make and sudo make install. This would, however, probably give you an error like this. The xslt configuration could not be found. We can easily fix this by installing the library xslt. However, we didn't add the Icecast user to the sudo group yet, so first of all we need to log into the root user again. Alright, so now we are in the root user. Add the user Icecast to the sudo group. As you can see, we added the user Icecast to the group sudo. Now we can go back to the Icecast again, and we can use sudo apt get install lib. Alright. With that command we can install the library for the xslt configuration. Just use Y and hit enter. This should install the package properly. And now if we use the same command again, so configure make and sudo make install, you will see that the installation of Icecast will run properly. Alright, so we got Icecast installed right now. The last part we need to do is configure the Icecast server. We need to configure it before we can actually run the Icecast server. All the config files of Icecast are written in XML format. So first of all we need to rename the sample config file to our main config file, and that sample config file will be in the Icecast server folder /conf. This is the sample config file. So to do so, if you log into Putty, you go to the Icecast server /conf, and we will rename the icecast.xml.in to icecast.xml. Now you should always name your Icecast config file icecast.xml to get the Icecast server working. Now we need to edit the main XML config file before we can start the server. You can use your default editor for this. I will use Nano on my Ubuntu server, and that is pretty easy. You can just use nano icecast.xml, and there we are. If you use another editor in the Putty and you can't see the difference between these commands and the actual options, you can also use your text editor on your PC like Notepad++. Copy all these files, so copy all of this, put it in a new Notepad++ file like here, and then just save it as an like the icecast.xml. And as you can see, if you save it as .xml, you can see the difference between the comments and the actual options. Alright, so now we are in Putty and we are editing the config file. We need to change some things. We will only change some basic things since the advanced configuration will come later, or if you want to go advanced, you can check the Icecast documentation online and check all the options you got to change in this config file. First of all, we will change the location. Just use any location you like. I will use worldwide, and the admin, I will use my own email. Alright, that's it for the top. Now let's go down. This is pretty important. You need to change the passwords of the Icecast server into a pretty secured password. You really need to do this since the passwords are used to administrate and log into your Icecast server. So if people know your password, they can administrate your radio station, or they can hack it. The source password, this is the password for the streamers who will log in from their PC to the Icecast server. So if you log in from this PC to my Icecast server on the Droplet, I will use this password. So in this tutorial I will use just hack me. The relay password isn't important in this tutorial since we aren't using a relay. And the admin username will be the admin username for the administration backend. You will see that later on, but just you can use admin or any other use you like and just choose a secured password. Use like a password generator if you like to, if you don't know what kind of password you need to use. The hostname could just be localhost and the port would just be the default port. Alright, so that's it for the changing. Oh yeah, the last thing we need to change are these log directories. Yeah, those logs, they don't work with this. So just delete this directory and copy or just use the directory where we installed the Icecast server. So for the log there, use home in this example, icecast / icecast server, server, and then use the logs directory. We haven't created this yet, but we will create this later on. Now the same with this one. And the web directory is already here, same as the admin directory. So we can just keep this default. We only need to change the directory in front of it. Alright, so that's really all of it. If you want to change the log files, you can change them right here. I will just call them access and error.log. The log level, what kind of log should it show, etc. So that's it for now. For the configuration file, we changed everything we need. All the other comments you can check out if you want, but we will not use them. So use Ctrl.X, click Y, press Y, and then press enter. So Ctrl X and then press Y and then enter. This will save the configuration file. We can check that with the WinSCP. As you can see, it changed to worldwide. All the other things I changed. Alright, so now that's done, and we saved it. Excuse me. We need to go to we need to go to the main directory again. So let's just go to the Icecast server directory. So we will go right here, and we need to create the logs folder. So mkdir logs. Now this should create the logs like right here, and we put in the configuration that it will save its logs right there, as you can see. So now that's created, it should all work, and that's it for the configuration of the Icecast server. So the last thing we will do now is run the Icecast server itself. We will run the Icecast server so you can connect to it and stream music worldwide. You can use different methods to start the server. First of all, we will just use the Icecast commands, but we can also use a screen and then run the Icecast commands. Now we are still logged in with the Icecast user, and the only thing we need to do now is run the Icecast, then the C for the configuration file, and then to the path where the configuration file is located. So in this case we will use Icecast server conf slash icecast.xml. This should start the Icecast. Alright, so I need to change one thing. I didn't use an underscore, I just use this one, so let's change the underscore. Yes. Alright, let's save it. It's saved. Now use the command again, and as you can see, it didn't give any error, so it means it is running right now. You can check if it's running by opening a web browser and logging into your Droplet. So we'll use the IP and the default port, which is 8000, and as you can see, we got Icecast 2 running. Now this isn't really easy because you can't run any other commands right now. It doesn't work. You need to close this connection first before we can do something else. So the easiest thing to the best thing to do is use a screen to run Icecast in that screen, so you can run the Icecast server in the background instead of in the foreground. So to do so, we need to install the screen software. As you can see, it is already installed, and we can now run the Icecast server with the following commands. This will be the name of the screen, the Icecast, and this will be the Icecast command which will run in the screen. Conf slash. Alright, so as you can see, we will use screen to run the Icecast commands, and the screen will be named Icecast. Now hit enter, and as you can see, nothing happens. But if we check our screens with this command, you can see that we got one screen called Icecast. Now we can attach ourselves to that screen with the R variable and then Icecast. Alright, so we got ourselves a little error. Okay, screen R Icecast. Alright, so as you can see, you still get a warning that the host name isn't configured, that it would use the local host. But this isn't a problem, because if you check this administration panel again, you will see the Icecast server is running. So at the same time, if you use Ctrl A and then press D, you will detach yourself again. And you can just use all the commands you want right here. And if you want to check the Icecast server again, you just attach yourself again. And there we go. You got yourself an Icecast server running.